welcome you to this amazing YouTube show. Welcome, people, to Doing It 365 with yours truly, Surfer Welcher out of Flag Sound, Flags 365. This is the talk show where I sit down with the prominent and up-and-coming talent within the Afro-Caribbean community, whether it's food, music, fashion, lifestyle, culture, you name it, they sit down with me, we're going to talk, we're going to have a good time, we're going to find out what they're up to, what they're doing, and how they're keeping afloat. So thank you so much for joining us here on YouTube. Thank you for joining us live. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Make sure you click the notification bell so you can be kept up to date with the latest and best episodes right here on Flags 365. So joining me today is going to be an amazing chef. You guys know me. If you don't know me, you're going to get to know me. I'm a foodie. I love my food. So it's only right I start this series Doing It 365 with food. And I've gone to the motherland because I'm Jamaican. I love my Caribbean food, but I love my African food. I love it because we use the same meats, we use the same flavors and seasonings, and that's so it's only right I go to the southern part of the motherland, the southern side, to Zimbabwe. And my guest is none other than the lovely, amazing, superb Chef Kaz, aka Cooking with Kaz. So make sure you follow her on IG as well. And I'm going to sit down with her today. We're going to have a chat this morning about cooking with Kaz, why she got started cooking, the Zimbabwean cuisine, you know, who inspires her, how she's been able to stay afloat. So much things we're going to discuss in and around the brand Cooking with Kaz. So make sure you keep it right here on Doing It 365. Just waiting for her to join us soon. So go get yourself a drink, get comfortable, get relaxed. You see me? And enjoy yourselves. And if you're having breakfast right now, take your time and enjoy it. Feel good, feel blessed. Our guest is running slightly late, so she does send her apologies. She'll be joining us very soon. So once again, people, make sure you do hit that subscribe button. Make sure you do hit the notification bell. Comment below as well any questions you have for myself or the guest. So hello, Celia Nams. I see you there. How you doing? Morning. It's a pleasure to have you here first thing in the morning. It's Saturday, you know. It's the first official week of 2021 done. Now we're in here, we're swimming, we're going strong. We're looking forward to what this year has to offer us. So make sure you keep it right here on Flags 365, Doing It 365 with Sir Influential. I'm going to be speaking to a plethora of amazing guests from food, fashion, culture, lifestyle, music, art, entertainment, you name it. We're going to sit down and chat. So make sure you guys are here with me as well. Subscribe, click the notification bell, keep it here on the 365. My goodness, man, I'm excited. Y'all know me, I love to chat, I love to have a good conversation. So it was only right I do this. It's only right we had to do this. This is a blessing, man. This is niceness. So yeah. Morning, Tyrone Rowe McKenzie. People, I'm going to be saying your name as I see it appear. So forgive me if you don't want me to say out your whole entire government, but so go. Good morning. Let me know if you're having breakfast as yet, what you've had for breakfast already, what you're doing with the day. You know, what's your plans for the weekend? It's the first official weekend in 2021 now, you know. So what's up, people? How we doing? We're good, we're blessed. And don't forget as well to follow me on IG. That's at Sir Influential. Make sure you're following Flag Sound as well, at Flag Sound on IG, on Twitter, on Tidal, and also on all the other social media platforms. So this is what is so dope. This is what is so nice. Fantastic time ahead, man. So yes, people, this is live as well. We're live in the moment, live recording, live on everything right now. So this is dope. This is amazing, man. So again, I just want to chat to the people right now. Seeing as we're live and I've got a few people here right now in the moment I can see live in the chat. Chat to me, folks. How's your week been so far? What have you been up to? How you keeping? How's your mental health doing? Let me know. You need to sort out Tidal. Yes, you do. Celia, yes, you do. Folks, get over onto Tidal, which is the music streaming platform. I'm telling you, it's the way forward. Cheeky free plug for them, but I love it. I enjoy it. I use it on my iPhone and my Android phone as well. I've got a playlist on there called Soca Niceness. That is amazing. It's got all the latest and hottest and fresh soca music from the top artists to the artists that are bubbling and up and coming as well. So make sure you check that out because it's all about promoting the soca. And reason why I love Tidal is because it pays out more. It does more for the artists. It does more for the artists than the other streaming platforms. So, and it's just as cheap. It's £4 a month right now. You can get Tidal for £4 for 4 months. You do the maths. Go sign up to Tidal right now. High quality sound as well. When you're streaming the music, you can really hear the production, the quality. You know, it's just soothing and pleasant to the ears. So for me, if you're gonna spend money, get the best and know that the money you're spending is going fairly to the artist so that way they can keep creating the art that you love, because music is an art. Soca is an art. It's our culture. It's our way of life. So why not do it the best way possible to support the artist? So get onto Tidal, check out Soca Niceness playlist, and make sure you lot are there, man. So yeah, big up Celia for that. Tidal all the way. Celia, what else are you doing with yourself, with your time? How's your family? What's going on? Let me know, folks. I know some of you are still there. Don't be shy to drop a comment, to ask a question right now. As I said, my guest is a chef. She's from Zimbabwe. So it's going to be looking at Zimbabwean cuisine. Her slogan is Zimbabwe cuisine reimagined. So you can just think, let me give you guys an example. I don't want to do too much before she arrives. I don't want to ruin the fun, but just think of luxurious meats and vegetables and, you know, good, solid, healthy ground provision and, you know, dressings and marinades and just, you guys know me. I love my food, man. So, you know, anything to do with food, I'm going to be there for sure. You see me? So it's only right. It's only right. So I can't wait to really have that conversation with Chef Kaz and really find out how, you know, they deal with the oxtail, because I saw she'd cook oxtail away and I'm like, yo, that oxtail look different. That like that nice. And you know me, if you know me, I love my food. Love. I can't keep stressing it. Love my food. So once again, folks, take this moment to go get a drink, get comfortable, because my guest is arriving now. Hello. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for making yourself available, making yourself here. Thank you so much. So once again, folks, this is Doing It 365 with Surfluential, where I sit down with amazing people in the Afro-Caribbean community, whether they're into food, culture, lifestyle, art, music, fashion, entertainment, you name it. They're going to be sitting down with me. And obviously, as I'm a foodie, I love to eat a good food. I've gotten one of the best chefs. I'm saying it. One of the best chefs in the London. One of the best chefs in the London town right now.
You're too sweet.
So, Chef Kaz, welcome. Woo!
Hey.
Chef Kaz, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm really good, thank you. I'm really good.
Right. Fantastic. Let the people know where Chef Kaz is from and how you and why and what inspired you to get into cooking.
Okay, cool. Hi, everyone. So my name is Kaz, as So Influential said. I am the brainchild behind the platform Cooking with Kaz. And Cooking with Kaz is basically, it's basically where I showcase my recipes and I host events from time to time. It's just my baby, really. So, in terms of where I'm from, I'm originally from Zimbabwe. I grew up in Bournemouth. I went to university in London, lived in London for about 6 years. I actually moved out of London. I hadn't told you. Yeah. So I moved out of London about a year and a half ago, and I moved back to Bournemouth, to my hometown. I guess with the lockdown and everything, it's worked out quite well for me to be back with my family. So it's been
that's good.
And yeah, so I guess it's easy if you just ask me a bit more specific questions around cooking with Kaz and what you'd like to know.
Definitely. I've got a whole list of questions ready to go. So my first question is, because growing up in the Caribbean, a lot of us, it's like your grandma teaches you how to cook, or your mom or your dad does. For me, the first person that taught me how to cook was my brother, and I remember him teaching me how to cook white rice and corned beef, and you put little scallions on it. So I would love to know, like, who taught you how to cook, and was it a thing of you must cook, you must this, you must that, or was it a thing of, you know what, come learn something, and then like, how did your love for cooking develop?
Okay, so cooking, I come from a family of foodies. Everyone around me has always just kind of been into food. My earliest memories when I was about 7 years old, still living in Zimbabwe, and there was this advert that used to come on, and it was for like a stew. And this lady would be cooking, and me and my cousin would then go into the garden and imitate that. And I've always loved to kind of be in the kitchen with all the aunties and everyone talking. And then when I moved to the UK when I was 9, the lifestyle here was slightly different. It wasn't big family gatherings the way we used to have it back home. So I started learning to cook for my parents. And due to just the nature of the work they were doing at the time, they would work really long hours. So a lot of the times I'd be left at home with my younger sisters, and then I'd make dinner. And then that's just how the passion began to grow. And then for me, I think what became a massive turn point for me was when I was in school. I was 14 years old, and I was entered into a cooking competition.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was really random. Somebody had dropped out last minute, and they just needed somebody. A teacher literally just spotted me from afar. She said, let's go, just get into the competition. Do it. You don't even need to win. Yeah, she's like, you just need to show up. I was like, okay, I get to be out of school. I get to cook. Why not? And then when I first got there, they wanted me to make fish pie with white wine sauce. I'm from a African house, right? We don't eat fish pie with wine. We don't eat things cooked with alcohol like that.
Yes.
So this was a really interesting challenge. So I just kind of threw myself at the challenge and did what I needed to do, and I won that competition. And then the next one, thank you. And then I continued that way until it got to the finals. And the reason I came a really close first in the finals. And the reason I missed out was because the presentation of the food wasn't appetizing. And I guess, with our people, it's all about, does the food taste good? Is it cooked well? It's never really about how does it look. So that became a massive part about how I sort of showcase my food. I really do care about how it looks on the plate. Is it appetizing, and so on and so forth. And that's really how I got into cooking. So after that competition, I actually really considered to be a professional chef for a while. And then my parents were kind of like, actually, being a chef is not the direction we want you to go down. I was quite good academically. So they encouraged me to go to university. And then when I was in university, I did economics and geography. I left the whole cooking stuff on the back burner. I think that's where we met as well at uni, wasn't it? So back then it was just kind of partying and doing uni stuff. And then when I finished university, that's when I actually started cooking with Kaz.
Okay, fantastic. So that's dope. That is dope. That is amazing. It's always interesting to hear how people start in secondary school, start young. There's a passion there from young. Then your parents steer you away from it, but then it comes back into the 360, the 365. So it's interesting that what's meant to be will always be, I always say. And it's just funny how I'm sure your parents now are like, "Cause you're this wicked, it's doing great, it's picking up, it's doing nice."
My biggest fans. It's absolutely insane how it works. It's funny because I think my dad made a deal with me when I was still in school. He said, look, if you finish university and you pass and you get your life sort of started, if you're still passionate about food, I'll definitely sort of support you, and I'll do everything I can do to help you. And he's been a man of his word since. And same with my mom. I'll have events, they'll show up, they'll help me with the cooking, they'll help me with the planning. And it's just a blessing to kind of have such support and accountability from my parents as well.
Exactly. So I'm gonna ask my first trivia question, yeah, for our episode, yeah. Who's the better cook out, your mum or your dad?
Ooh, ooh. Why would you do that?
I gotta ask, and I know they're gonna see this, so you gotta
Oh my
you gotta
goodness.
answer.
Who is the better cook? I'll probably say, I'm going to be completely honest. My dad throws it down. He is
Dad,
a
throw it
sick
down.
cook. He
All
throws
right,
it down. And he's one of those people that just do a guest appearance in the kitchen. He's not always there. So when he does, it's a
come
massive
true,
thing. Yeah.
come true. Nice with it. All right, Kaz, fantastic. Now, for someone like me, for example, yeah, who is just imagine I've meeting you for the first time, and I know you're a chef, and I say to you, I'm curious, I want to try Zimbabwean food. What's the best introductory dish to Zimbabwean culture and cuisine? Like, what would you give someone to say, you know what, this is what Zimbabwe is on a plate?
Before we get too far, before I answer that question, I do want to clarify. I am not a chef. I am a home taught cook who has a lot of hygiene certificates and has a lot of passion for sharing the food that I cook. By
Thank
profession,
you.
I'm actually a consultant, but
Oh, okay, lovely.
yeah, but the food element of it is definitely something I love to do. So I just don't want people to get the wrong idea and sort of think of me as a chef. I offer catering services, I have events, and I love to cook. And I'm qualified to do so in terms of the hygiene and the food standards element of it, but I'm actually not a chef. So I just want to put it out there
Okay,
for my
okay.
out there. I respect
That's good.
the craft. So just to be clear, in terms of the best introduction to Zimbabwean food, I would probably say bruvos with sadza. Bruvos is like this. It's a Southern African sausage, and it's super long. It looks like a common sausage when people serve it. So you can have it grilled, or you can have it in a stew. And then
Mhm.
sadza is basically it's maize meal that has been cooked into solid porridge. South
Mhm.
Africans call it pap. Zimbabweans we call it sadza. Other tribes in Zimbabwe call it inchwala, and it doesn't have a specific taste. If I could liken it to anything, like how Caribbeans have maize porridge.
Yes,
It's
carnival porridge.
similar to that in terms of flavor.
So yeah, it's similar to what we in Jamaica say turn call mean, where it's solid and you can eat it with
Oh, you
other
have
food.
that in Jamaica as well.
Yeah, we have it in Jamaica as well.
What is it called?
It's called turn call meal.
Oh, nice. I didn't
Turn
know
corn
about
meal.
it.
So they get the cornmeal and rather than leaving it fluidy like a
Like,
porridge,
yeah,
they let it set, and then
yeah.
and people put okra in it. So like and okra or other meats in it. Like some people, if they're cooking for like a big family setting and they want it to share, they'll put chicken in it or some people even use it for dog food. Like I remember growing up,
Wow.
people would put chicken and chicken skin and beef and pork and mix it up and say, yeah, give that to the dog to eat because it's cost effective. If you've like got leftover pieces of meat, like from Christmas, for example, you just turn it up
Yeah,
into the meal and then let it set, and the dog eats that and you cover it in gravy. Or for example, like the Bajans call it cuckoo, where again it's that same maize kind of thing, and then they set it in in a nice shape, and they eat it with flying fish. So it's really this is why I say how everybody's connected and it's very
we are
similar. It's very,
connected.
very, very, very similar. So I like that because I've been to South Africa and I've tried pap, and pap
Yeah,
is nice. I know what you're talking about. It's really is good. So people don't be shy to try out these foods, and you see that the culture and the food is very, very similar.
yeah.
And my next question for you now is the events, because that's what made me say, wow, this looks really good. Because on your IG, I was like, yo, the event, and I saw the food. Talk to us about your event. What's the name? How long you been doing it for? Let the people them know what's up.
Okay, cool. So my event is called the Boozy African Brunch, and I've been doing it since 2017. And so the inspiration sort of came back in 2017 while I was living in London. There was this massive sort of trend of people going to bottomless brunches, and there was a bottomless brunch for everything. There was a bottomless brunch there was a hip hop one, there was a drag queens one, like all types of bottomless brunch parties.
Holy.
Yeah, and I thought I hadn't seen at the time any African ones, and the purpose of the Bougie African brunch was to basically use it as a platform to showcase all types of African food. And I sort of don't sort of sit there and say I'm an expert in all things African food, because I'm not. I'm also learning. So I focus on what I know, which is Southern African food. And the way I make Southern African food is with my own twist. So as you know, I moved here when I was 9 years old, and I started sort of cooking with traditional recipes and just making my own sort of thing with inspiration I got from here. So as a result, my whole menu is composed of things that look like that. It's mostly Zimbabwean food with my own traditional twist. And the event, it's a daytime party, right? You get there around 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, bottomless Prosecco. I've also got my own sort of like boozy African brunch punch, where it's made with
I need to try some of that.
You have to try it. It's made with like a Zimbabwean cordial called mazoe, and people just absolutely love it. So we've got the bottomless brunch, and we've got the punch, we've got the Prosecco, and then the food sort of comes out in segments. And what I usually do is you have a starter to share, because quite central to Zimbabwean, and I think African and Afro-Caribbean culture is eating together, that togetherness. So all the starters sort of come on one plate, and you just sort of dish them out between yourselves. And then the main, it's usually a vegan option and a meat option. So people just sort of pick one. The reason why I go for vegan, because I know that vegetarians can have it as well. So it's quite open.
Exactly.
And then the desserts, I usually serve the desserts per table, because I think it's a good way to kind of put a face to a name and see who's been cooking for you the whole time. And again, the desserts sort of come in this big platter for people to share. The music and the vibe is Southern African music, Afro house. It's the type of party where you just want to sort of groove and just enjoy yourself. It's a good place to meet people. Yes, you have to dance while you're talking about it. It's really good fun. At the front door, I usually have two beautiful hosts, Chloe and Whitney, and they're the sort of people that are there to make sure you're comfortable. And my sort of plans for the future are to have a bit more interaction with the guests as well. So I'm sort of trying to find a way to do that.
And get that in there. I look forward to when the next brunch is able to happen. I will try my very, very, very best to be there, because I've seen it. People, it looks amazing. It looks good. The vibe is amazing. And the food, we know already what's going down. So as soon as we're in a more fluid state of movement, I definitely can imagine that Kaz is going to be whipping up a brunch or 2 or 3 or 4. So that's exciting for that. Once again, folks, please take this moment to subscribe to Flags 365 and make sure you are following us on our socials, which is at Cooking with Kaz and at So Influential. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can keep up to date with the next episodes on here. So, Kaz, I want to find out from you, I want to find out from you the real deal, yeah? You mentioned a dessert.
Yes.
There's a crumble I saw on your page, yeah? It's called, I can't pronounce it. I'm not going to try and embarrass myself right now in the Saturday morning. But it starts with M, and it looks like it has like sweet potato, and it has like red and green, and it's a crumble as well. I was like, what is this? It's called M something
Bambaira.
That's it. Talk to me about that dessert, because when a lot of people, and me included, think of African food, we don't think that there's going to be like a dessert that comes with it as well.
Yeah.
But there you have now a dessert. Dessert. So I'm a man, I love my strawberry cheesecake. So when I see a crumble, I'm like, what? And it's a Zimbabwean crumble. Yeah, you need to talk to me about that. How is that a unique dessert that you created, or is it that's a common thing in Zimbabwe, or is it like your spin-off of a traditional dessert already out there on the market?
It's something I created.
There you go.
The thing is, similar to what you were saying, a lot of African food, we don't think desserts after. You might have like fruit, or I don't know, someone might make something with sugar in it and it's sweet, and they classify that as a dessert. But for me, I realized even growing up, like a lot of the desserts we ate, like chocolate, crumble, they're very British desserts. And I'm a British African person. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, let me bring those two cultures together, make a dessert, and this is something that people can try. So it's actually in my new cookbook, Zimbabwean Food Reimagined, the recipe. And what it does, I don't know if you've ever tried amarula.
Yes.
Yes. So it's got amarula. It's got like a amarula caramel sort of sauce inside it. So when you break in, it's not just dry sweet potato and and crumble. There's almost kind of like this sweet layer of just like juiciness in between. You can have it with ice cream, you can have it with custard, whatever you fancy. I think people call them white yams in certain places, but it's like this big white African sweet potato. And that's basically the key ingredient in it. And it's just a case of mashing that up, putting a bit of cinnamon, and then letting that sort of bake for a bit. And then you add the caramel, you add the crumble, and then yeah, it's ready to go.
Ready to go. That for me, I need you to package that and then just send it to me in London. I'll pay for everything. I need that, because that just looks, people, when this is over, go and check out her IG and you'll see it. Have you got the cookbook there with you to show us quickly? Have you got a copy of your book?
I did. Give me 2 seconds.
Yes, please. Oh my goodness, man. Like, that crumble. People, that crumble. That crumble is
there
we go. Fantastic. What is that dish? What is that in the dish? Is that the seasoning? Is that your main seasonings that you use when you're cooking?
No, it's just a variety of vegetables. I guess I use a lot of vegetables in my cooking. So you've got I don't know if you can see it very well. So there we go. So you've got some broccoli in there, you've got some eggplant, you've got some spring greens, some people call them collard greens. We've got some lemons, some carrots, and just some peppers. It's just a variety of vegetables I just like to use when I'm cooking. And the recipe you were talking about, actually, and so influential. You're absolutely going to love this, honestly.
I already do. I already do. I know.
That's the dish you're talking about, isn't it?
Yes, there we go. Listen, take us through the book. Take us through. Show us 3 of your favorite dishes.
Okay. Do you know, before I even show you the dishes, I'll tell you about a really key feature that I love in the book. On the back page, there is a playlist, right?
Mm-hmm.
But each of the songs on the playlist is paired with this song. So when I first created the book, I wanted people to have a 365 experience as they have meals.
Yes.
I wanted people to really sort of experience what it's like to kind of have Zimbabwean culture. So my desire is, when you get my book, when you first try the dishes and you're eating it, the first few bites, play the song in the background. It will just kind of add a sensual experience to everything.
Yes.
Everything engaged. You've got your sense of smell, your sense of taste, your sight, your ears, everything. It's just a whole vibe. So this is one of my favorite features in the book. And if I was to kind of give you my favorite recipe, so I've got these things called Santa bites, right? So there's a whole, like a massive feature page inside it. So that's Santa bites.
That looks good.
And what these are, it's basically pap cooked with spices. So pap is quite plain, it doesn't really have a taste. So what I like to do is I like to put loads of seasoning. I'm inspired by sort of Middle Eastern flavors, a bit of Caribbean flavors in there as well. So just chuck all the seasoning in there, cook the pap. Once it's cooked, you sort of roll it into these tiny balls and you deep fry it. And you can literally eat it like that after. You can eat it as a snack, or you can almost kind of use it as chips to accompany a meal. So it's one of my inventions called Santa bites.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I like. And find another recipe that I think is really cool. Chakalaka.
Oh, talk to me about that.
So I call it boom chakalaka in the book. It's a Southern African dish. It's basically spicy baked beans with carrots. And it just tastes so good if you're having a barbecue, or just you want something different for your breakfast. Chakalaka, just throw that in. And it just kind of adds a bit of flavor to your dishes.
So that's another vegan option there.
Yeah, so it's a vegan option.
That's brilliant. That's
Yeah,
brilliant. Bro.
it's a
When I
vegan.
said to my mom that I was doing this interview today, and it's with I said chef with a food with a cook, and she was like, "Does she do vegan food?" And I was like, "Well, I think so, mom, but I saw a lot of meat, you know, so I'm about the meat, mom." And my mom was like, "Well, you know, I'm about the vegan and malupus and this and that." So I was like, "Okay, I'll ask her." And she's like, "Make sure you find out." And I was like, "Yeah." So I'm glad to see that the book is really well thought out, well laid out. It's really, it looks good as well. The gloss finish, the pictures, illustrations.
Thank you.
Take your flowers for that, man. That and I love that you've combined the culture with the music and with the culture holistically, like you said, with the music and everything. That's really dope. That is really, really, really dope. Again, continue. Tell us some more about the book.
So I guess what you need to know about the book, I sort of worked with three guys to do this book. So one of the guys is the guy Isaac Rujimba. He's the one that did my front cover. Absolutely talented photographer. He's based down here in Bournemouth, but he will travel for the right opportunity. I worked with a guy called Nin Ntando Lukula. He is the guy that basically put everything that was in my head to become something physical we can all touch. Super talented designer. He just sort of, I sort of shared the vision with him, and we worked together just to bring it to life. And it was a really good opportunity to just work with both of them. In terms of all the food photography in the book, I did it myself. This has been a passion project for me. It's not something that I just sort of came up with during lockdown. It's something that I'd always sort of said I wanted to do. I wanted to create a book, something that people can hold on to, share with friends, buy as a gift, and actually just popularize Zimbabwean food, but with a twist. We can't access the organic plant, like garden grown healthy stuff that we can get from back home. So this sort of gives an alternative where you can still have the flavors from home, but play around with ingredients just to kind of get something new effectively. So a bit more about the book. So as I said, it's all about recreating Zimbabwean food with my inspiration. So I'm inspired by Caribbean food. I'm inspired by East African food. I'm inspired by Mediterranean food. So all of that is sort of captured in this book, and this is the product that I have for you.
Amazing. And where can we get the book?
You can get it from my website. So I've got a website, www.cookingwithkaz.com. And there you'll find more information about the Breezy African Brunch. You can find information about the book. You can find information about me and my catering services. And I'm actually due to start my blog as of this month. So entries for myself as well. Because I think Instagram is a great platform to sort of showcase. But I think the idea of kind of having my own platform where I can then sort of go crazy about food, write articles for people, it just kind of excites me. So
exactly, get into it. Most definitely, man. That this is what I love. This is amazing. Now, let me tell you the dishes that I saw on your IG, yeah, and I was like, yeah, this is it. This is it. I need this. It's the beef stew with zaza. Pardon me if I'm saying it wrong, and veggies. That. Oh, serious things. Then you have the sadza fish cakes, and I was like, lick, that will go down anywhere, anytime with any kind of people because everybody loves a nice fish cake.
Who doesn't love a fish
cake? You have the sauce with it as well. Hey, can't go wrong. And then finally, as I said to you, I'm a meat lover. I'm a meat man. I call this the Zim Mega meat platter. That's where you've got the sausage, you've got the Zaza bites, you've got the I think it's chicken, or I think it's your spicy chicken, spicy salsa chicken wings, and then you've got like 3 other stuff. And I was like, yo, that plate, that platter, me, what do you drink that with? Like, because you said earlier that we you in African culture they don't have wine with that with fish or wine with certain food. So now with a platter like that, is it something that you then consider say, okay, have red wine with it, or try a rum or a whiskey, or is it just straight you're gonna need water after this.
So I guess what I meant by in African food, we don't have, it's not that we don't have wine with the food. Wine is usually a drink that accompanies the food, not cooked within the food. So in the typical British fish pie, they would then use wine as a base for the white sauce. And that's not something I'd sort of come across while living in Zimbabwe. But in terms of answering your question about the meat platter, I've got a picture of it right here.
Yes. Oh, look at that, people. Tell me that's not the goodness that you need in your life. Bring it to your right a bit.
A bit to my right.
Yeah. Oh, look at that, man. The rosemary, the peppers. Yeah. See there? And I love how you got a nice bowl of veggies there. Yeah, that's what I need. I need that. I just want to pluck it out of the screen and take it and just have it here. But listen, man, this is
when lockdown, like when all this lockdown madness ends, I'll definitely bring you a sort of takeaway for you to try it.
Please do, because that is there on the list, man.
In terms of drinks, like you asked, I'll definitely go for like a red wine with this, or beers. Like it's definitely sort of let's get some beers, get some Coronas, get some Desperados, and enjoy this. Some people, I think having it with like a rum could be a bit overwhelming because rum has got like really strong flavors. This is a lot of meat, so I'll probably say the water, beer, or some sort of a wine, and you're ready to go.
Good to go.
Yeah,
that's nice, man. So those three things for me are my favorite dishes that I've seen that you've promoted. But what's your favorite? First of all, what's your favorite non-Zim dish to cook?
I'll tell you a story about this one actually. When I was in Kingston, I was looking for like a second side hustle job, and I got to work in a kitchen for this small restaurant just by Surbiton. And there was a chef that was there. She used to make this delicious sort of creamy sauce pasta with chicken and chorizo, and I absolutely love that. So I use Chardonnay wine for mine, and it's just creamy pasta with Chardonnay and chorizo and chicken, and it's just delicious. It's my comfort food, my go-to comfort food. If I was to think in terms of Afro-Caribbean food, I absolutely love jollof rice and just chicken. It's a classic combo.
Classic.
I love plantain. I love jerk chicken. Caribbean food wise, I love curry mutton. That's my go-to meal. I absolutely love that. So I gave you more than one option. I eat a lot of
yeah, we've gotten that good variety right there.
Yeah,
we've gotten that good variety right there, man, for sure. My goodness, like there's so much. I don't know. Do you ever feel like you get tired of your cooking though?
Yeah,
I know sometimes with cooks, it's like if you're doing it so often and for so long, it's like, okay, I don't really want to eat my food today. Do you ever get like that, or do you feel like every day is just a new day to just keep enjoying them? I love my spices and my flavoring so much that
I just wish more people could cook for me, if I'm completely honest. I like Christmas Day, I made dinner, and I couldn't eat anything I made. I guess like sort of full from all the seasoning and the spices and the cooking. So I literally had to eat my food the next day because I just physically couldn't eat. I then obviously had my desserts and all the other little sort of snacks that were around, but I couldn't physically eat the food I'd cooked. But the next day I really enjoyed it. But it's one of those where as you're making the food and all the seasoning and all the spices, you almost kind of get full up from the fumes. So exactly. And I absolutely love other people's cooking because it then gives me inspiration on what I would do with what I do as well. Yeah,
exactly. Definitely. Right. 2020 pandemic. Everything's been flipped on its head. How have you stayed afloat? How did you stay grounded and leveled? How was that for your cooking entrepreneurship? Did you take time? Obviously, I know the brunch had to stop, but then you launched a cookbook. What else were you doing to keep yourself afloat? Is what I'm trying to find out.
Okay, I guess I made a lot of banana bread, like everyone, because that was what everyone was doing in the first lockdown. I guess I'll talk about it in two ways. Mentally, I was privileged enough to kind of be locked down with my family. I exercised a lot more. I found myself going out for a jog every day. I wasn't much of a baker before lockdown. I didn't really enjoy baking. I like to cook, but I'm not much of a baker. So I
That's
started,
like me as well.
yeah, so I started baking a lot more just to kind of improve that skill. So that was really helpful. I built my website, cookingwithkaz.com, and created a platform where I could do that. I had some videos from 2 years ago I'd worked on and just never got round to that I managed to edit. And it was basically this professional video shoot that I'd done for making salsa bites and another dish called gnocchi. So for those of you that will go on my website, you'll see those videos. And I worked with some really talented sort of videographers and editors as well to get that done. In terms of business wise, just staying afloat, I'm privileged enough to sort of have a full-time job while doing this as well. So like I mentioned to you previously, I'm a consultant. I work within the IT sector for energy businesses. And so I was able to still work from home and do what I needed to do in terms of my career. But in terms of the business, I had to pivot the strategy. I couldn't have my events the way I would normally have them. So I started doing collaborations with people on live just to kind of keep the engagement going. And then that's when I properly sort of started focusing on just the production of the book, which has sort of proven to be a really good way to still kind of financially stay afloat as well, because people are really kind of enjoying the book and purchasing it. So that's been really helpful. I think, yeah, in the new year, I definitely want to probably write more books as well and prepare for events if everything works out right for us to do so.
That's amazing. That is dope, man. That's really good to see. That's really, because it's not easy to be in full swing, in full throttle, going through the strides, and then it's just like bam, bam, bam. You don't know what next is gonna get or become a setback. So it's really good to hear that you've been able to stay afloat, stay mentally, headstrong and above the water, as they say. So that's really, really good to hear. And big up yourself for going out and doing the jogging every day, because I tried to do that a couple of times, and after a while I'm just like, yo, there's too much people out here. Everyone's jogging.
The jogging stopped now, don't worry.
Yeah, but now I'm seeing more people come out now. I'm like, are you not cold? I just about go out to walk the dog, and you lot are out here running, no gloves on. I'm like, okay, people are really trying to take the health and the fitness serious, man. Yeah. That's wicked. That's dope. So what are the plans now for 2021? How do we see Cooking with Kaz going forward?
So the first thing I really want to do is do a launch party for the book. I'm one of those people where if I reach a milestone in something I'm doing, I like to celebrate big, because I think it's good for you mentally as well. It kind of justifies, you almost kind of feel compensated for the work that you've put in. I mean, yeah, obviously when you're selling the books and things are going well, that's also good. But I think beyond that, I want to just celebrate with the people that have been part of my journey and people that have supported the investment as well. So that's something that I really, really want to do when the lockdown is lifted. The next thing I really want to do is have more brunches. I love the Boozy African brunch. It's literally my favorite event. It's so much fun to organize, and I like that sort of exclusivity feel that it has. So I purposely make the Boozy African brunch small. I've tried to do it a bit bigger and it just doesn't work in terms of the vibe. It just completely throws off the feng shui. So for me, I quite like the fact that it's quite exclusive. It's quite intimate. There's no more than 40 people there. And it just kind of then creates that vibe for the next one. People who couldn't come, the next group of people can come along, and so on and so forth.
That makes sense. That is fantastic. So more books, book launch, potential brunch.
Yeah.
Probably some more IG collaborations with other cooks.
Oh yes, that's a given. And for me, I think for anybody to sort of succeed in this line of work, you need to be able to collaborate. For a very long time, there was always kind of like, oh, this person's doing what you're doing now, and you'd kind of get a bit competitive, but it completely does the opposite for you when you're competitive. You want to, like what you're doing right now, we are in completely different lines of work in terms of what we do, but this type of collaboration is just adding, it makes me more passionate about what I'm doing, and I know that this time well spent for yourself as well. And I think for other foodies out there, working with other foodies is good for you. It helps you to build your following. It helps to improve your skills, and it's just an opportunity to meet like-minded people. We're not allowed to go out at the moment, so this is really the only way to interact with people that you wouldn't normally interact with.
Exactly. I totally agree. And that makes sense. So if you're a foodie or you're a cook and you're listening, you're watching right now, please, please, please don't be shy to collaborate, to work, to build, to grow, to network together, because that's what it's all about here on Doing It 365. Once again, folks, going to remind everybody to hit the subscribe button, hit it right now, hit the notification bell so you can keep up to date, and make sure you are following Cooking with Kaz on IG, and go and check out her website, cookingwithkaz.com, and make sure, I shouldn't have to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you anyway, you got to buy a book because we want to see you lot cooking the Zimbabwean food the best way, you see me? And make sure you check out that music as well. So, if there is an artist you could cook for, who would it be, and what would you cook for them?
Oh, this is really, really hard. Oh gosh, if I could cook for an artist, there's this guy called Winky D within the Zimbabwean community. I don't know if you know this, but there's a lot of Caribbean influence in Zimbabwean music. Bob Marley came to Zimbabwe a few years back, and everyone went crazy. So we've got like our own genre of Zim dancehall, and got like a massive Rastafari community as well. So and I don't think it's necessarily because Bob Marley came down. I think there's always been a connection between the two anyway. And I would love to cook for Winky D. Like, he is one of my favorite artists. I don't tend to remember song lyrics very well, but I remember his song lyrics, and that's always good. So Winky D would definitely be somebody I'd love to cook for.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. Definitely Winky D. So people, we've heard it here. We want to get Kaz on a cooking show with Winky D. That'd be sick. Or she caters for his entire London show or London tour or something like that. That will be dope. You got to speak it into man. Manifestation is the way forward, you know. That's right. That's right. That's what it's all about. I'm telling you for sure, it's gonna happen. I can see it now. When last did you go back to Zimbabwe?
So the first time I went back after moving here at 9 was when I was 23. So all that time I'd never been back, and it was a solo trip. I sort of told my parents I was going to Zimbabwe, and it was such a sick experience. I got to see my grandparents, I got to see my cousins, and it was just really, really cool. And then the last time I went was 2018. And that was just it was such an eye-opening experience for me. I then sort of interacted with the art community that lives in Zimbabwe, and I now buy and sell African art on my platform Art Yelu, and I sell it on Etsy. And I'm working with my friend Karina Nelson. She's Jamaican, and she absolutely loved the art when she saw it. So we buy and sell the art on Etsy as well. Our brand is called Art Yelu. And that was the last time I went to Zim. I just connected with the art community there. And I think food and art and music all really kind of work well together. And so it's just about creating experiences. That's what I'm about.
Definitely. So when are you going to Jamaica? Because you have all this Jamaican vibe and energy and friends, and the cultures are linked. So when can we see Cooking with Kaz in Jamaica, bringing that Zimbabwean flavor to Jamaica?
I mean, when you show me around, I think the best way to explore a country is to go with someone that's from there, right? So you tell me when we're going. That's the best way to answer my question.
All right, don't worry. I will definitely be letting you know when we can go, and we can work out the logistics depending on when these airlines are moving properly. We will go, and we will enjoy, and we will see. We'll go to the hot spots, the good spots, and we'll let you flex your culinary skills and enjoy some jerk chicken and jerk pork. And do you have any allergies before we go?
No, and I love jerk pork.
To make sure from now. That is amazing. Right. Okay. I've got another question for you, another trivia question for you here right now.
Okay.
Dancehall or piano?
Why would you do that?
This is what it's about. This is what it's about. I want to see if you're really, what you gonna say?
I'm a piano. What do you think this is? What do you think this is? I love Amapiano. That's like the only genre of music I really properly listen to at the moment. I love Amapiano.
Who's your favorite artist from that genre right now?
Shasha, she's throwing it down. She's Zimbabwean as well, and she's just kind of representing the women in the industry. So I absolutely love Shasha. I'm trying to think. Hold on, let me get my playlist up.
Get it up, get it up. Ain't no shame in the game, folks. Once again, please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to like. Hit that notification bell so you can be kept up to date with what's going on in the 365. This is Doing It 365 with Influential on Flags 365 with the lovely, I'm going to keep saying it, Cooking with Kaz, aka Chef Kaz, with that Zimbabwean flavor. So, right, my dear, what is your playlist?
Okay, so there is Something Soweto. What I like about Something Soweto is he sort of transcends like the Amapiano like craziness, and also has like a jazzy vibe to him. I love jazz music, especially African jazz music. So he's really good. This one, right? On when Spotify does the year roundup and it tells you how many songs you've listened to. So these guys are quite new, and apparently I was one of the people that streamed them the most because this song is just sick. It's called Intando. I'll send it to you after. And it's SOA, Matrix, Soul Fuji, and Sean 101. They're really, really good. Cabs are this small. Come on, is it really Amapiano if we're not talking about him? And yeah, and I think Virgo Deep as well. Those are my favorite artists in terms of Amapiano.
That's dope. That's dope. So people, if you don't know, you need to get to know. That's the new wave coming through strong for the last, I would say 3 years minimum, but it's been around for longer.
Yeah.
For way longer.
It's only getting popular now, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's because for me, I'm literally seeing it and seeing that, okay, yeah, this is picking up nicely.
Yeah,
but it would have to have been around for years, and that's how things go. Sometimes it bubbles in the community, and then with social media, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So I know you love your dancehall, so I'm gonna have to ask you about the dancehall as well. Which dancehall artist would you love to cook for?
Oh, see, I'm one of those people where I like the old school dancehall, like back in the early 2000s, Movado, Vibes Cartel, those guys there, that, like the type of dancehall we were listening to back in Oceano at uni. That's the type of dancehall I like. So I'd probably love to cook for Movado. Like he used to make me
happy. Has a big influence in Africa. I know that the Africans love a good Movado.
And Munda Honorable, like that guy's good as well.
Yeah. So what would you cook? So I know what you'd probably cook for Winky D. What would you cook for Mavado or Munga? Like to say, you know what? This is their first time trying it. You want them to really get a flavor of it, a flair of it, but then you want to wow them as well and say, nah, this is the authentic thing as well. What would you give them?
I would I'll probably cook. So in my book, I've got my dad's Roadrunner stew recipe in there. And I think, and Roadrunner is that hard chicken that we call it Roadrunner in Southern Africa. I don't know why, but it's hard chicken. So I'll probably make him like a hard chicken stew with just sadza, plain sadza, so that he can really taste the authenticness of Zimbabwean food. I've got this vegetable dish. So it's the one that's in the top. It's called muriwo. So I've got my own version called posh muriwo, and it's basically those vegetables. It's spring greens, collard greens, kale, a bit of broccoli, a bit of asparagus cooked in butter, and it's just absolutely delicious with all those things combined. So I think I'll probably have all of that for him as a meal.
That can't go wrong. That can't go wrong. I can't lie. A good spatula. Good, that's a good thing there. And then for the dessert, what would be the final thing?
Because the meal is quite heavy, I'll probably go for my cream soda jelly in the book. So it's basically jelly made from I actually made this for one of my friends recently and they absolutely loved it. It's this cardinal in Zimbabwe called Mazoe. It looks like this.
Okay. Yeah. I see that. That's nice. That's flavor. That's colorful. Yep. That looks
Yeah,
good.
it's this bright green cream soda jelly. So I just make that for him because it's easy going and it's just delicious.
Wicked. I like that. I do like that. So yeah, I'm defo ready for Zimbabwe now. I feel like I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I know the music. I know the culture. I've been South Africa, but I don't remember any of the Shona that I learned. So forgive me.
That's okay.
But it's wicked. Oh my goodness, this has been amazing. Have you got any questions for me?
Yeah, what made you start this platform? Because this is amazing work. It's a good way to kind of bring the community. So, what made you start this platform?
What made me start doing it 365? I love to chat, and I've always liked to explore the Afro-Caribbean cultures and the entities. So whether it's the fashion, the music, the art, the dance, the lifestyle, the food, everything. So I was naturally always interested, and I would post up your stuff. I'd post up my friend's stuff from here and there and everywhere. So then one day the opportunity was said to, yo, why don't you do a YouTube
Wow.
about just talking to people about the things that you like and are interested in? Obviously, you like to speak anyway. You're naturally outspoken and opinionated. So why not do what you like, which is highlighting other people, speaking to them on YouTube? So I said, hey, why not? Let's sit down with it. And we sat down and said, okay, this is the best platform to do it on. This is how we're going to do it. And here we are now. Today's the day. Start the new year right. Start strong, and then give people the opportunity to say, you know what, come and see what's happening in the Afro-Caribbean community space, because there's so much that we're doing that's not getting enough of a highlight, if not enough of a big up. So it's like, and sometimes I don't like always seeing the same people. No, there's so many other people that are doing big things, amazing things, dope things, that there's enough room for everyone to get showcased, everyone to get love. And I want everybody to know that, yeah, if they don't see your things popping, I want you to know your thing is popping, because I'm telling you it's popping, and you're going to show everybody that it's popping because it's popping. So that's what we do here on Doing It 365. And the reason for doing it 365 is because I want it to be people that are serious and taking their craft and their love and their passion and their interest and their hobby regularly, day in, day out, year in, year out. That's why it's Doing It 365. So we'll probably speak again in a year or two to find out what you're now doing, how it's growing, how it's elevated, and just keep pushing, keep growing. It's been fantastic to really sit down and have this chat and see how it's like from your perspective, because we see a lot of people coming up now doing cooking, and they're cooking from home, they're doing the catering now, but very few have had an opportunity to speak and say it from their side. Because we see the IGs, we see the cookbooks, we see the boozy brunches, but how was the thought process behind that? What made you what makes you tick, and how have you navigated through these very testing times to now come forward and give us that energy? So I'm looking forward to it.
That's really inspiring. I love that response. And I think it's so packed with a lot of other things that I think we'll probably even have another hour's conversation discussing. I think one thing that really stood out for me is your passion to just help sort of the underdogs or the unknown people, because I do think, exactly as you're saying, a lot of big platforms showcase the same people, but actually there's a lot of people within our community that are doing a lot of interesting things. So that's really cool. And where do you sort of see the future, like 2021? Are we doing events? Are we going to make this into a podcast as well, so that people who are visually impaired can still access it? What are we doing?
So I'm glad you mentioned that. That is definitely one of the plans, to turn it into a podcast for sure, so people can listen to it back for those who can't see it. So that's a great idea. Whenever events allow, we may do a live of it as well, just like showcasing, highlighting, like a little indoor kind of festival thing, with an exhibition, so to speak, where people can come and say, yeah, try it. It's like a food market or a food or a cultural hub indoor event one day where you can come and do it like that. And that's the future. So for now, it's just bringing the interesting, engaging conversations to YouTube, building up that interest. And then as soon as we can have the space, because people are now, they're ready, they want to go out, they want to enjoy. We're not sure
Exactly.
now if we can really leave. We're in a lockdown now. So as soon as the lockdown eases, which it probably will do in the summer, then we can say, all right, well, here's a small event. Come, do your thing. We go again. We keep it on that, and we keep people abreast so people can now watch this back, find out more about you, about Zimbabwean culture, lifestyle, and take it further. And just so there's a lot in the works. There's a lot in the works, and obviously, but now this is just the grow, push, and really showcase that, you know, there's a lot of talent that needs to be fostered, cared for, and say, yo, don't, because it's very easy for people to feel like they're not getting anywhere or they're not doing anything. And it's like, no, we see you.
We see you.
We see you're doing your thing. We see you shining. You're working nice. The work looks good. Keep going. So, like, for example, with you, I was so happy to get you and have you on first, because it's like, here's a woman doing this cooking stuff. She has a cookbook. She has a website. She has a branch. Let's have a conversation, because that's not, and it's from Zimbabwe. You don't really meet many Zimbabweans. Like, obviously, as you know, already, as you all know, Nigeria and Ghana are the two big main countries that we find from Africa in London. So when you meet somebody from Zimbabwe or from Botswana or from Lesotho or from Angola or anywhere else, it's like, okay, cool, dope. What do you do? And then let's take from there and say, all right, cool, let's connect the dots. And even in your own cooking, and if you say you have the jollof rice there, you have the East African influence, all of that. So it's connecting the dots the best way possible to ensure that everybody gets that push up and that praise. And I'm looking forward to speaking to more people, and just keep watching, keep seeing, and keep encouraged. That's what it's all about. So amazing, man. Amazing. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I like it. And it's good to have a conversation. So it's wicked. So any more questions?
The last question I have for you, I guess, when are you going to Zimbabwe next?
When am I going to Zimbabwe? I would love to go within the next 5 years for sure. I want to go whilst the Ampino is still hot and pumping and relevant, and my knees are still good enough to do the dancing. I want to go for sure. So because I've been to South Africa and I enjoyed it very much. It was a long flight, but I enjoyed it very much. I know that I will enjoy Zimbabwe, and obviously I know that the Jamaican culture is appreciated there, and they love the reggae, they love the dancehall. So I know I'm gonna feel just at home, and I can't wait. It's just are they allowing Brits in? It's whenever they're ready to let the Brits in, I will try my very, very best to go. I'm a person. I'm not afraid to travel on my own, to be fair. Good. I reckon I would go on my own if I have to. Yeah. And then I'd be like, well, I'm here. What events are happening? What's going on? Can I get some interviews in as well with some people that are prominent and popping out here? Who's the underdogs? Who's doing what? Where the movers and the shakers? And then it's just like, let's take it from there. So you let me know the best time of year to go as well, because I know there's certain events and festivals going on. So
always December. We call it December. There's like how in Ghana they've got Dirty December. In Zimbabwe and South Africa they've got Care December, and this is that holiday season where everyone's carefree and ready to just go. There's so many festivals, so many concerts. And when you go to Zimbabwe, don't forget to do the nature stuff as well. There's a lot of beautiful. We can go to Victoria Falls. You can go to the safaris and just do kind of a lot of nature stuff. Go to the mountains as well, and just actually before doing all that nature stuff as well, make sure you visit an art gallery. There are some talented artists in Zimbabwe, and it's just completely mind-blowing. Make sure you go to an art gallery, and definitely make sure you try some street food as well.
I'm gonna be in there. In there like the stick in the meat.
I'm screaming
in the meat, because it's all about the food. It's all about the food. If you don't, I can't imagine myself going to a country and not trying their street food, because that's when you really get the real elements of the people and the essence, and it's amazing. It's fantastic. So I'm looking forward to it. Kaz, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. This is Doing It 365. Make sure, once again, folks, you follow Cooking with Kaz on IG, and you go and check out the book, which you can get from her website, cookingwithkaz.com. Showing the book again. Bingo. I am Sir Influential. Make sure you follow me on IG as well, Sir Influential. And don't forget, folks, to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. This is Doing It 365. We out. Peace.
Take care.
Take care.